live, but all right. Good evening, everybody. Welcoming everyone who's tuning in right now to Comix Asylum Live with Jay and Steve. Jay, how's your week been?
It's been chaotic. Trying to get ready for the Legion's Con. A lot of things to do. I printed a banner to honor our good friend Brenda's Effects.
Nice.
So that's going to be a whirlwind trip. I got to tell you.
Yeah, pretty emotional too, I assume.
It will definitely be emotional, 100%. Just like any remembrance of anyone, right? But it's important. I feel it's important to go. I feel it's important to go to this convention, which he loved so much and wanted to be a part of. And thanks to the generosity of people and the Four Horsemen themselves, allowing this to happen and giving us the venue, the table to display his work and show everything to everyone who's there. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be a great thing for us to do, and I'm looking forward to it. A lot of people are going to be there. It's going to be an interesting time. So, how about yourself, Steve? How was the week for you?
Busy week. Just kind of wrapping up stuff for the campaign for Atrium. So we're getting the artwork in. Just kind of finalized and made some couple of changes to issue 5. And Nikos and Mike, who do the colors, they're just I guess on the precipice of getting everything so they can start on it. And it's being lettered, so we should have everything done in a couple of weeks. And then we'll probably be sending out the first 3 issues to anyone that has already backed it in this campaign, and then send out 4 or 5 later. But so it's been busy, and then I also have some freelance stuff that I have to take care of, and then also be going on a location scout tomorrow for something. So I need to get that cloning technology so I can get everything done.
Yeah, if there could only be like 5 of us, you know what I mean? Like,
right?
It would be something else. Well, good stuff. And I know there's a lot of comics, to talk about. A lot of movie news. Things that just keep everything keeps moving, man. The world continues to turn, as we like to say. So looking forward to it, Steve.
Yeah, everything's fluid for sure.
Absolutely, and I guess it's not too early. I think everyone's already going through the motions. You have any plans for Christmas, or like are you sticking around, or?
I plan to be in town. My cousin usually has something kind of set up at his place, so we'll get the family together. Hey, we got Carlos coming in. I'll bring him on. Hey, Carlos, how you doing?
You're on mute, Carlos. There you go.
Hello?
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, how you doing, my man?
I totally forgot that we were doing this.
That's all right. It's been a busy week for you.
That. Oh, today was nuts. Sorry, I'm still setting up this phone. Can you hear me?
You had Absolute Superman drop today, so how was that?
Bro, it was like today was old school comic day, like real old school.
Right.
And get to the shop and orders were coming in through the night, and then I probably about 40 people waiting for us to open, which is like
Whoa.
pre-COVID numbers, and we were humming along all day, and I'm just exhausted. So it was impressive. The last, let's put this, God bless absolute Batman, Wonder Woman, Superman, because they, damn, if DC did something right, it was those titles, because that brought a whole shitload of people back into the comic, back into the store.
Perfect.
And we're blessed. So I hope all the other stores have been prospering from some newfound creative titles, which we much needed. So pretty good. So it was a busy day, guys. How you guys doing?
No, we're good. We're good. We're just talking about how busy we all are. I'm putting on the finishing touches for Atrium's last 2 issues. Jay's getting ready to travel to a convention. Where's that convention, actually? Where is it?
It is in Whippany, New Jersey.
Whippany, New Jersey. Interesting.
Yeah, Whippany, New Jersey.
Never heard of Whippany, New Jersey. Have you been there before?
No, this trip was completely unexpected. So I'm going blind, and that's not my first stop. My first stop is in what was it called? New Jersey? No, Virginia. I'm going to Virginia first to meet with the family. Yeah, I'm going to meet with the family first.
Mm-hmm.
Give my support to them, and then pick up some items which Ryan had sculpted in the past to showcase, and then that's like a 9.5 trip over to Virginia.
Yeah.
And then after that, I'm doing the 4 hours back to New Jersey, Whippany, New Jersey, which I've never heard of Whippany. Like a lot, like it's a I don't know what city it is. It's probably a small town. And then but the event is well known among toy collectors, like extremely well known. The Four Horsemen are very, 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 very popular, so it's going to be
Nice.
it's going to be packed, right? And spend a few days there, hanging out with people and getting showcasing everything that Ryan did, and hopefully get some support for the family. I'll have a QR code with the direct link to the support for Ryan's family, and hopefully we can raise some more funds. So we've already raised, I think, a little over close to $8,000 now. So it's been a good.
Can you tell me what? Sorry, I'm new to this. So Ryan.
Oh, sorry,
what's
Carlos.
The story?
Yeah, sorry, Carlos. I'm heading to Whippany, New Jersey for Legion's Con. My friend Ryan Endersby, he passed away a month ago.
Okay.
So basically, we are myself and my friend Danny. We're heading down to Whippany, New Jersey. First we're going to Virginia to go see the family, and try to find out how they're doing. I'll pick up some items that belong to and were created by Ryan, who's a wonderful sculptor, wonderful toy creator. And then we're going to go to New Jersey. The reason we're going is because this convention was his dream. He'd always wanted to go to this convention. It's really terrible to say this now, but it was his bucket list thing. He always wanted to do it before, because it was his thing. He wanted to be one of the Four Horsemen. He wanted to be them.
Yeah.
And he never got the chance. So, I made the decision to, and I was not expecting to go. I had no plans to go, but with such a short timeline, I was like, all right, am I going to do this? I'll do it. Right. And I gathered myself and I grabbed Danny, who said he wanted to come because, again, it's a long trip. I can't do the drive myself. It's crazy. So we're gonna make the trip down there. We're going to set up a booth, and I just picked up the banner. I'll show you guys. And it looks amazing. It's great that, oh, what the heck. It's amazing that I was able to get this together.
That's nice. That's nice.
So, yeah, it's very, sorry, it's kind of blurry, but it says we have lost one of our own, but he will never be forgotten, right? And what I want to do with that banner is anyone who's interested, to leave a tribute Just put a sign the banner itself, and I'll be bringing that back to the family as a memorial, as a tribute to his time there, and to basically bring back a piece of what Ryan would have wanted, and that's what we're trying to do. So,
And how can we contribute?
oh, there's a okay. So I'll put it in the chat right now. So let me just grab that. It's on my Instagram page if anybody wants to see it. It is the GoFundMe. So let me just I'll put it in the chat. That way people can contribute if they want. Just give me a second here, guys. Thank you for asking, Carlos. I appreciate that.
Yeah, send me a link, and because I'm doing this off my phone, guys.
Sure.
And I was entering this room right away. So let me just can I pause this somehow so I can rearrange this? Because
yeah, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna remove you, and then you can get set, and then I'll bring you back in.
How do we do this?
I'll do it.
Okay.
All right. So I'll see you in a bit.
All right. Thank you.
All right. So I put it in the chat, guys. If anybody wants to contribute directly to the GoFundMe, it really is very much appreciated. And I don't know, Steve, if you want to send that link to Carlos, that would be very, very much.
Most definitely, we'll definitely do that. Yeah, that's a great cause to support, and I'm sure that his family would be quite appreciative of anything that we can,
100%. And when I meet with Erin, his wife, I'll try to get a message from her for all the support that people have given, because we've already checking it now. I think we've already been able to raise just shy of $8,000. Yeah, we're getting close. It's $7,140. So we're getting close to the $8,000 mark. So hopefully we'll get there. And I plan to have a QR code at the show so people can just donate directly. And that's, again, it's what we can do, Steve. So yeah, hope to see everybody there. I see the Mythic Dolphins here, and yes, I will definitely see you, Tiffany. Definitely see you at the show. And Nolan's in the house. Good to see him. Yes, I will be, Tiffany. Thank you. I did get a Technodrome. I did get one. It was delivered a couple days ago, so it's a couple of weeks ago. So thank you. I'm good. Thank you. Randall, what's going on, brother? How you doing? Thank you, brother. Really appreciate it. And thank you for the support, bro. I really appreciate it. Yeah. So, but life moves on, Steve. Life moves
Yes.
on, and
yes.
we are preparing, of course, for the holiday season.
And you were mentioning what my Christmas plans.
I was.
Yeah.
And for our American friends, we'd like to find out what are you guys doing for Thanksgiving? Because we know Thanksgiving is the big weekend for a holiday. It's like 4 days for them. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think it's like the biggest travel day or weekend or something like that for them. It's absolute insane. Airport madness.
So let us know, guys. What are you guys doing for Thanksgiving / Christmas? We'd love to find out. And we do have a couple questions for tonight's stream. What is your favorite time travel movie? And of course, what would you say is the best action figure or toy of all time? Those are the two questions for tonight. Definitely feel free to comment in the comment section or on the chat. We would love to hear you guys. And,
yeah, absolutely. So,
very excited to find out. I'm very interested. I'm very, very interested.
Yes, because it's going to be interesting to see what kind of answers come up with this, because lots of films have time travel. I think time travel's kind of had a bit of a resurgence.
Yes,
recently.
And if you want to extend that to television, there's been a lot of time travel in television. I am my personal pet peeve. I'm gonna put this out there right now. My personal pet peeve in television time travel is gosh darn freaking Star Trek. What the heck? It is the fix it all. It is the Star Trek. What's it called? Sonic screwdriver. Okay, it is the freaking Star Trek Sonic screwdriver. They always end up using temporal mechanics to fix their problems. Okay, like seriously, writers, stop it. Like seriously, there are other great stories out there. You don't have to rely. You don't have to use that as a crux. Like Voyager, everything was temporal mechanics to fix that series. You know what I mean? Like every single Star Trek series has some sort of temporal mechanics, right? And you know what? I argue it probably started in the TOS. It started way back, but I think that when they did Star Trek 4, The Voyage Home, I think that killed it. I think
Right.
everyone was like, time travel, rescue whales, and the environment and everything. And
Right. I actually like that one though. I did like that one. That was a hilarious one.
Everyone likes that movie because
It's not as good as Khan. It's not as good as Khan, right? But you know what it was though? That film was the closest to what you'd get in the TV series. Like
no, but what I'm trying to say is it's homogenous. Everybody, even if you're not a Star Trek fan, you can watch that film and be like, oh, this is pretty cool. You know what I mean? And it just happens to have Spock and Kirk and the whole crew. That's it. So.
Khan was a classic. I just watched it like a few months.
Khan is amazing.
Khan is by far, and it will be the classic film for the entire Star Trek mythos. It is, and they remade it in the Kelvin universe, I think they call it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
With
the J.J. Abrams universe.
Doctor Strange. There. What's his name?
Oh my gosh. And with the new Kirk.
Benedict
Cumberbatch.
There you got it.
Yeah.
Who played Khan in the old
Ricardo Montalban.
Love Boat.
Yes, you remember the commercial he did?
No. Fantasy Island. Yes, there we go.
Fantasy Island.
There we go.
Do you remember the commercial he did for Chrysler where they had Corinthian leather?
Oh my God.
Corinthian leather. Yes.
The car had Corinthian leather in it. There's no such thing.
No, there is.
I just found out they're doing a similar take on Fantasy Island, or is it the Love Boat?
Yeah, no, they're rebooting. They're rebooting Fantasy Island and I think Love Boat, but I think
they're going everywhere.
It's Fantasy Island.
Sorry, we went Star Trek to Fantasy Island to Love Boat. Okay.
Yeah.
Continue.
Corinthian leather does exist. We call it faux leather.
Faux leather.
We call it faux leather.
I want to see this Corinthian cow that this leather comes from.
It's synthetic. It's rich Corinthian leather.
Yeah. So we got some great ones in the comments, but I want to get Carlos's favorite time travel movie, or a movie that it has time travel. It could be
anything.
The crux of the plot, or it could be a plot device or something.
Does Back to the Future count?
Yeah, absolutely. That's probably the most iconic.
Absolutely.
Was Inception a time travel? I can't remember.
No, Inception was a mind fuck.
Mind fuck. Okay.
But time does get dilated in the dreamscape.
Yes, this is true.
Okay, so then I got to go with Back to the Future. I got to go with the original Back to the Future. That's my choice because I can't remember too many time travel movies that I've watched. So that's the one that sticks out in my mind. So,
okay.
What about you, Steve?
It's interesting. My favorite? Oof, that's hard. It's not Back to the Future, ironically.
That was a fun movie. The 80s fun, right?
It was a fun movie, but in terms of like time travel, I'm probably going to take some heat for this, but one of the ones I like the best, Star Trek 2009, and then Interstellar.
Interstellar.
Was that a time travel movie? I mean, it had. I think I know where you're going with that. I think it was more. It was not so much traveling.
When he goes to the event horizon and he's knocking on the bookshelf.
Yeah,
he's actually
got you. Yeah,
he's communicating with his daughter.
That is true. But actually, time is delineated there because he can go anywhere. I got you. Okay.
Okay. So we got in 2009 Star Trek. I think I love that movie.
Which one was that again?
I remember that.
That's the one with the J.J. Abrams reboot where you had old Spock. And this is where the Romulan played by Eric Bana destroyed Vulcan, and then they came through the wormhole.
I got you.
That was Chris Pine?
Yes. Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. Okay.
What
right,
about Bill and Ted's Adventure?
That's another amazing one.
That's another great film. Absolutely.
Absolutely. So Mythic Dolphin, HP3 Prisoner of Azkaban. Oh, Harry Potter. Yeah, that's a good one.
Clock Stoppers was good.
And Clock Stoppers is good.
Was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, that I think is probably my favorite Harry Potter. I'm not a big fan of the series, but that was a good one. And Randall says, I got a week off from teaching school, me and my dad for Thanksgiving, and my bro's family for Xmas. Time travel films. Carlos, another Back to the Future. Star Trek 4, First Contact.
First Contact.
That's true. Star Trek does go back to the well a lot.
It does. All the time.
Yeah.
All
and then
the
Time After Time. Which one was Time After Time? Is that Chris Reeve?
Time After Time.
Wasn't that based on a comic from Image? No.
Oof, you know what? Time to do some research.
I gotta look that up.
Time After
The first thing that comes up is Cyndi Lauper, obviously, but
yeah, I'm gonna put movie in there. Oh, that's right, Roddy McDowell. And is that Mary Steenburgen? Oh my god. That's from back in the day. Let me see if I can.
Yeah, it's got Malcolm McDowell, David Warner, a whole star-filled cast, mostly British.
Yeah. So that's a good one for sure. Let's see what else do we have in here. Mythic Dolphin also says Star Trek 4.
Yeah.
Cute Cult says Time Crimes 2007 from Spain. Starts off slow, but well worth the watch. Okay, I'll have to check that one out because I do like foreign films. Nolan says Bill and Ted is probably my favorite, followed by Time Cop. Yes. Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Time Cop.
That is a great film.
Okay, can I change my choice?
Absolutely, you can.
Okay, go for it.
But now, thank you. Time Cop was great stuff.
It was good
I'm gonna have to give that one a rewatch. That one's great. Yeah,
have you
Time
seen him
Cop's
in
great.
the new commercials? Jean-Claude Van Damme and that bus commercial he just did where he's doing the split. No, it's old. Probably came out about a year ago, but that's crazy stuff. I don't know if it was a full one.
I'll have to check those out.
Yeah,
I know he did a series. I know he did like a series, like a quasi-reality, like what do you call it? Where you're doing like behind the scenes stuff, and it was on him as an actor, but I don't know if it was supposedly like on the nose or if it's scripted.
I'm gonna have to go with the first Terminator. I think the first Terminator is probably my favorite film for time travel.
Oh, yeah, can't go wrong with that. Can't go wrong with that at all.
And I mean, the whole series is based on time travel. I mean, like, that's basically how they just keep bringing in new Terminators every single time and new saviors, if you will. It's absolutely crazy, right? But yeah, I think that the first Terminator, it really, like, James Cameron knew what the hell he was doing, man. Like, seriously. Even the second one was pretty good, you know what I mean? But I think the first one really was the one that opened people's eyes. And
the effects in the second one were mind-blowing.
Absolutely. Especially when you think about the shoestring budget he was given to do the first one. Like literally, like apparently at the end of the film where they zip him up in that body bag, that's apparently, according to some interviews, that's James Cameron's suit cover bag. Like, that's how cheap. Wow. That's how cheap the production was.
Yeah,
it was crazy.
Yeah. It was crazy. You got to say that the 80s produced some of probably the best decade of movies was in the 80s.
Yeah. I'm not going to argue with that one at all.
I've been saying for the longest time, the 80s is probably the most the most remembered time, and it's actually encouraged so many different filmmakers today. I mean, how many films have actually gone back to the 80s? Specifically, like Marvel loves the 80s.
They mine the 80s like crazy.
Stranger Things, all these other films that keep going back to the 80s. Why? Because the 80s was a freaking amazing time, man. Like,
greatest generation, actually the greatest decade. Music, video games, everything started up in the 80s.
That's
sitcoms, like that was our childhood. That was our decade. And I don't think today's generation will ever experience anything like that. Where you had 1984. You had some of the best animated TV shows,
Oh,
or
without a doubt.
toy lines, or just in the start of video games and arcades and going to the arcades. It was fantastic, and all the movies. It's I don't think that'll ever be repeated for.
I also think too, I agree with you, and I think too, what kind of plays into it is the technology. We were at the point where the technology was just there enough to give us the games,
Yeah.
as well as to kind of realize some of the stuff that were in like movies and TV, where the technology was able to represent that stuff well enough. Like, you look back at it now, and some of it might be dated, but man, it was mind blowing if you were a kid in the 80s watching some of that stuff.
Yeah.
100%. I totally agree. Again, we were very blessed with the selection of films that and it was, what the thing is, the 80s, they weren't afraid to experiment. You know what I mean? I think that really was the biggest thing. Today, as far as I can tell anyway, I'm not going to be disingenuous, but I think that so many different so many different what are they called, filmmakers, studios actually are kind of beholden to their shareholders, so they're so scared to take any more risks. I think that's really the biggest travesty for the current state of things. It's really unfortunate.
I also think like the change in the distribution model post release has also played a big role. And I think I saw something about Matt Damon saying that you could make a medium sized movie, and then you could make your money back on DVD sales.
Yes, I remember.
Right.
I remember him saying something like that.
That's all gone now with the modern stuff, because you can't, there's no physical media. And so there's no Blockbuster you can go rent it from. You basically stream it. And can't see it on the shelf, but above me, I've got like the special edition Spider-Man, the first Sam Raimi one, where it was like a disc, and then you had like a special little insert with part of the film that was included in it. And those are things that you're missing now. Like, how many different versions of the Star Wars, the original trilogy, were there, where you had like the original cut, then you had the deluxe edition, and then you had DVD, Laserdisc, all that kind of stuff. And that stuff's just missing.
Look at today. You had the remake of The Crow.
Yeah.
It didn't even last, 2 weeks in the theaters. It was doing so bad that they went straight to streaming to hope to recoup some money. And look at Joker. Joker Folie 2?
Yeah.
It only made got its name, is the customers in the viewership was based off the first one, and then Rotten Tomatoes just tanked that movie, and now it's on my TV. It's everywhere that you can see it out of theater. I don't even think they'll recoup money if they paid high or whatever it costs. But it's hard. It's very hard to make money these days.
Yeah, a lot of good comments in the chat actually. So, Tajiri Hanger, good to see you, bro.
I'm not sure if we got this one there. Did we do this one? Yeah, I think we did this one. Bill and Ted.
Time Cop, yeah.
Sure.
That was that's another one, so that's good.
Yeah, so Time Cop gets another one.
Yep.
Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventures, a bunch of laughs.
Yeah.
And use the restroom before watching. That's a really good piece of advice. Arnold Trinidad with another Time Cop. There you go. You know what, though? I can't lie. Arnold, he loves cops because he loves Green Lantern, and then he loves this movie, so it's right up his alley, for sure. Jay Bates, of course, the OG, the Time Bandits.
Time Bandits, bro, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Who is the main actor in Time Bandits?
I can't. Who was the dude connected to Monty Python? I'm not sure if he was the main actor, but I know that he was the filmmaker.
John Cleese?
No. I think he might have also done Brazil.
Was it sure. Was it Eric? Eric something?
Terry Gilliam. That's it.
Gilliam. Is that Karen Gilliam's? No, that's another.
No, I don't think so. But John Cleese is in this movie.
Yeah, Terry Gilliam was the director.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, it was John Cleese, Sean Connery, Shelley Duvall, Ian Holm. Like again,
that's a great cast.
British acting royalty, man, just crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. Here we have Randall said time after time is about H.G. Wells. Oh, H.G. Wells himself going to the future to find Jack the Ripper. You see, I'm going to agree with you on this one. Superman, the original Superman, the last couple of minutes, that is time travel. Because he doesn't stop the rotation of the Earth. Yeah. He flies so fast that he goes back in time.
See,
that's how they represent it.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, like, but the problem is that visually, I can follow your train of thought, right? But visually, right, it really looks like he stopped the Earth. I mean, like they didn't recut it. You know what I mean? The guy was going this way and they went that way.
Do you know how disastrous that would be? People would be flying off the planet, like if he actually did it.
Again, right? But that was here's the thing. The what's it called? Those particular films, right? The what's it called? Oh God, who directed that film? It was
Richard Donner.
Richard Donner. The Donner cut.
The Donner cut's amazing.
The Donner cut is amazing.
If you haven't seen it, anyone out there in the chat or who's watching, the Donner cut is amazing.
The Donner cut is amazing. But it was that magical time where they gave Superman whatever powers they wanted. You know,
yes,
for mind reading.
For two, yes. But if you go back to the Kurt Swan Silver, what would those be? Silver Age ones?
Golden Age.
Golden Age. The Golden Age ones where Kurt Swan was the artist, Fantastic Superman artist. He used to time travel all the time. And so he would just fly really fast and you'd see the dates kind of coming up and down.
Which eventually they translated to the Flash, right? So I mean, like it's that kind of thing, right? But that again, it's one of those things where it's been retconned multiple times over, right? So it's an interesting study. But strictly speaking, I think, I mean, who am I to deny that? I mean, fine, sure, it's fine.
I'm surprised I haven't seen one yet. I'm looking for one in particular, but I'm surprised I haven't seen it yet. Maybe when we scroll down a little bit.
Is Cyborg a time traveling movie? I thought Cyborg was just in the future.
It was in the future. That was Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah. And Van Damme.
And it wasn't Dolph Lundgren. It was just Van Damme, and it was some dude. Universal Soldier is the one you guys.
That's where the both of them are.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah. Cyborg was this crazy post-apocalyptic film. It was nuts.
Mm-hmm. Correct me if I'm wrong. Predator is not.
No, it's
time
not.
travel.
No. I'm trying to think if there was one, but I don't think so.
I don't think so.
They hinted at that the Predators have been on Earth since the time of the Cowboys.
Yes.
Right. They showed that in in Predator 2. Predator 2 they showed, and of course in Predator AVP, Alien versus Predator, they've been here longer than that. The freaking Mayans they were showing for the different pyramids that there were. But Arnold Schwarzenegger, Edge of Tomorrow.
Live, Die, Repeat. Absolutely. Great film. Doug Easter said, is it wrong that I prefer Back to the Future 2 and Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey over the originals?
No.
Still really like the originals. No.
Really good.
No,
really good.
They're both good.
Yeah. But really good films. No matter what. Really, really good films. Yeah, okay. So people are confusing best movie with best best guys. The qualification here is best time traveling movie. People are saying RoboCop. People are saying just random, like Edge of Tomorrow. No, Edge of Tomorrow is not a time traveling movie. What
actually, yes, he does.
No, what they're trying to fool everybody into thinking that he's in a different time.
No,
you're right.
Edge of Tomorrow. Right. That's the one where Tom Cruise dies all the time.
Yes, no, you are.
He's
right.
in a loop. He's one of those ones, which is ironically that premise is one of my favorite Star Trek episodes.
But is it
for TNG? when
Yeah.
they're playing poker.
Yes.
And I don't know if it's the warp core keeps blowing up.
But is that time traveling, or is that the Groundhog Day effect?
Well, I would argue that Groundhog Day is a time traveling movie.
Is it? He's just reliving the same day over and over again.
You're still going back in time.
Now, are you though? I mean, I guess to a certain degree you are.
It's a closed loop, yeah. Right.
That's the thing, right? But yes, that episode of Star Trek was brilliant. If things would change ever so slightly, there would be echoes of the past. And I think that's where your argument makes more sense, because there is some sort of loop, right? And instead of like it's a mind thing where he's dreaming that he keeps going back into the past, right?
Yeah.
Again, it's like that's where the argument comes from. But okay, all right, cool. That makes sense to me.
Randall says Quantum Leap for series. Cheesy fun is Dial of Destiny. Oh, okay. Yeah, I know the Dial of Destiny movies. And I never did watch Quantum Leap, but yes, for sure. I guess technically he was jumping in and out of bodies all throughout time, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And cute coat. Yes, it is Terry Gilliam.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet, so I'll just throw it out there, and then you guys everyone can chime in. The original Planet of the Apes.
I mean, yes.
Yeah.
That actually went. If you're going forward in time, absolutely.
Still time travel.
It is still time travel.
Because technically, forward time travel is the only time travel that science actually accepts.
Yes, that makes sense. Yes.
Right?
That's true.
Unless you're at the quantum level and you're a quark or something.
Well, or the actual concept of time is immutable still continues to hold true. Like no matter what you do.
That's Terminator. That's the whole premise of the Terminator movies. No matter what you do, you're going to end up with
It will eventually come back to it's inevitable. It is, as Thanos says, it's inevitable.
Right. So Mother Slug, I'm not a huge time travel movie kind of guy, only because they make so many plot holes that wreck the movies.
There's the problem, right? Like in reality, what we understand as time travel is what Marvel did say it was pretty good. We understand time travel as what we were told in movies, right? Mm-hmm. And the reality is, if people would actually go back in time or forward in time, who knows what would actually happen. So,
does Doctor Strange, the movie, count as time travel because he goes through portals to different dimensions and stuff like that? Is that travel?
That might be interdimensional travel, but not necessarily time. But I guess depending on when he returns.
No, but he can use the time on a very technical note. On the technical note, he can use the time stone to go back.
Yeah. I would put that in at least a gray area at the least.
Well, there's a mechanic. We'll say that it's not a time traveling movie, but there's a time mechanic. I think that's probably the best way to
like Superman.
That'd be equivalent to the original Superman, right?
Yes, correct. Yes. I think that those are both in the same vein. Yes.
Yeah. Here's one that I actually really liked when it came out.
Looper.
Okay, hold on for a second. Seriously, Emperor Shao Kahn. These are not just your favorite movies. That's not what we're looking for here. Bring it up.
I got to bring that one up.
Bring it up.
Rambo. No, not Rambo.
Rambo is not a time travel.
No.
But what you got to do is you got to have pre-flashing cards or something. Best time travel movie or something. Give them a heads up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Remember what we did? The thumbnail actually says best traveling movie.
Night Train. Hale, best time travel movie has always been Back to the Future 3.
3
is nice. I mean,
I gotta go revisit that.
It's a great film, right? They go all the way to the Wild West. You get to see ZZ Top, so but it's no matter. I like it as a trilogy. I think the whole collection of films is timeless. And they've been talking about rebooting it. Please don't reboot that. Please don't reboot.
They're money. They always do. Money. Money makers.
If they don't cast Marty McFly right,
it's done. It's over.
It's gotta be a good Marty McFly.
Who?
Tom Holland.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I can see that. Yeah.
He's got that kind of scattered, like when he was running in the first Spider-Man film, solo film, and he's running to the party and he's going through the backyard.
Yeah,
that's serious kind of like Michael J. Fox, Ferris Bueller kind of 80s
Yeah.
vibe of like this kind of like out of control physical comedy. So for sure, I could see him do it. Arnold Trinidad with Hot Tub Time Machine.
Okay, hold on. Okay, so guys,
That was-
I gotta stop you before. So if you guys are talking about your favorite action figure, maybe that's where we're getting the disconnect here. So
Got it.
yeah, I'm seeing other people
Okay.
throwing in
So
weird.
so you know what it is? So we'll come back to that, Emperor
Yeah.
Shao. Yes.
Sorry, guys. I just we admonish people for not for something different. So anyway, but
Right.
we're gonna keep going with the best movies first, and this best time travel movies first. Then we're gonna go backward. Donnie Darko, is that a time travel movie?
Yeah.
It
It
is.
is. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a time travel movie.
I thought it was some freaky shit, but I didn't think it was a time travel movie. Okay.
Yeah. What about Tenet
Which one?
with Christopher
Tenet.
Nolan?
Oh, Tenet.
Tenet. Yeah.
Yeah, Tenet.
Where they're going back and forth in time, and they're almost like time cops. What's his name's in it? Robert Pattinson's in it.
Trying to remember. Robert Pattinson is in that film?
Yeah, and David James Washington, I think his name is Denzel's son. Yeah, Tenet's a good one. Tenet is a good one.
All right, I never watched it, so.
Endgame.
Yeah,
Would Infinity War? Does that have time travel in it? I think
No.
it's only an Endgame that they
It's
do
only
it,
an
right?
Endgame. It's only an Endgame.
Right.
Endgame is the only one with actual time travel.
Yeah. Abbott agrees with you, Carlos. Tom Holland for Marty, yes.
Yeah, I can see him playing that role.
Mm-hmm.
So-
Please, Nitro says, please, no Back to the Future reboot. It will never happen so long as Zemeckis is alive. He said as much.
Okay, well, at least there's that.
Oh my gosh. Out of Sight with Denzel. I think that's Denzel's movie. Let me double check that. Anyone in the chat could is it Out of Sight is Clooney. Deja Vu is Denzel. Yeah. Abbott did not like Tenet at all. Said it sucked. Fundamentally flawed.
Oh boy.
Well,
all time travel movies are fundamentally flawed. If we're being fair.
Okay, so here's the reason why, like, I like time travel, but essentially this is my kind of bugaboo with it. That once you go back, you're essentially creating a new timeline. So the people that you're saving are not the original people, but they are people from a new timeline that you're saving. Or whenever you go to alter the future.
Yeah,
Or the past.
which is
from the point you come back to that original jumping off point, everything else is new. So those people that you were trying to save, they're still dead, but that version of them exists.
That's the theory. That's still the theory that Endgame technically is running too. But they sort of did this little thing where Banner said, "Oh, if we put him back," it's like, what are you talking about? Every timeline is deleted. That no matter what, it's a different timeline. It's just they sort of broke their own rules. It's really weird. But yeah.
Okay, this film's coming up, Carlos. I don't know if you remember this. It's a Charlie Sheen movie. And it's come up in a few comments. The Wraith.
It's not time travel. It's not time travel.
That's the one with the car, right?
It is. It's not time travel.
It's an 80s movie.
With Charlie Sheen?
With Charlie Sheen.
Yeah, Charlie Sheen.
And it's like this black car and they're in the desert.
Yeah.
But I don't remember it as being time travel. I just think he was an alien, right?
No, he's not an alien. He's an angel. Or he's a ghost, actually. He's a ghost.
In a
I'm
car?
not going to give away too much more of the plot, but that's it. He's a ghost. I'm going to leave it at that. I think people are getting confused about how that, like, the whole concept of it. There's no time travel. As far as I know, there's no time travel in that movie. Somebody can correct me if they really can figure it out. But
Right.
from what I know, from what I remember, quite literally, he comes back for something. That's as far as I'm gonna put that,
Okay.
right?
And I'm not sure if we played this one already or had this
Oh,
one.
my-
Number one.
It's an
12
underrated
Monkeys.
movie though.
Oh,
Oh,
my-
12 Monkeys. That was time travel. I
Yeah.
think.
That's time travel.
Yeah, because he that's the whole reason why he couldn't remember who he was. Anyway, okay, I see.
Mhm.
All right, yeah. Yeah.
Time travel.
Yeah.
All right. So I think we hit some pretty good ones. We're gonna have to go back in the chat because we got some toys in there as well too. Let's see. Jay, what's your favorite toy
That is a
of all
bad
time?
question to be asking me, man.
I know.
That
What's
is a
your goat toy?
terrible question to be asking.
Goat toy of all time.
I cannot. Yeah, okay, look. If
Okay,
you're
we'll go
asking
to
me-
Carlos. We'll go to Carlos and let you ruminate on that one a little bit. Carlos, doesn't have it could be even something you've had in the store that you're like, wow, that's a great toy. It could be sculpt, it could be the playability, what it meant to you as a kid. What's your all-time goat toy?
Goat toy.
Yeah, greatest of all time.
I don't know. I'm old, so all the toys we grew up with broke easy or were so. But if I go to now, because at the store we carry so many high-end action figures that articulate like crazy, I'd go probably the Transformers Optimus Prime 3.0. That
Mm,
right there is
mm.
it's like beautiful. It's an awesome figure, and I have one in my own collection. But if you give me a second, I can show you my all-time favorite toy.
Okay.
You guys can't see, but in my living room, I'm surrounded by toys. I got toys,
Nice.
statues. Let me grab my favorite toy, okay, guys?
All right.
Sure,
So
go for it.
while he's doing that, I
I'm-
will give mine, or at least one of mine. I loved the OG $6 Million Man toys with
Nice.
the engine, with the
Yeah.
engine block. Loved that. Loved those toys back in the day.
The ones with the see-through arms where you could actually
Yeah,
see
where you could
the
roll
parts.
the rubber and you could take out the bionics.
Yep.
Yeah,
Good
love
stuff.
those.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the red tracksuit.
That's
right.
so great.
Guys, I'm on the couch. I gotta be comfortable. It was a long day. Are you guys ready for this?
Sure.
Yeah, let's see
This
it.
was growing up, one of my favorite shows in the 70s. And I love this actor.
Who loves you, baby?
Savalas.
Who loves you, baby?
Does it come with a
Telly
lollipop?
Savalas. Oh my God.
That is amazing.
Who loves you, baby?
Telly Savalas,
Who
sealed
loves you, baby?
card, mint on card,
Oh my God.
sealed,
That's awesome.
fully jointed action Kojak.
That
I
is
love the
awesome.
suit too. The suit's
Yeah,
pretty banging.
That is
so my buddy in Detroit sent me a picture, and I go, I gotta have that. So he gave me a real good deal on it. It's looks like the glasses are moved out of place, but yeah, there he is. Sure,
That's pretty good.
absolutely.
Kojak, man, that takes you to another time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man, this is fantastic. This is what I can't see today. It's got to be like mid 70s, late 70s.
Yeah.
It comes with the cigar, the lollipop, and the police.
That's so good.
Telly Savalas.
Cigars.
So good. So
Kid-
good.
Kids' toys with cigars. You gotta love it.
The cigar is right here, and the
Oh,
lollipop.
you
You see
gotta
that?
love
Oh,
it.
that thing's
Very
getting
good.
lost. Anyone who had to open
Yeah,
that
no.
pack,
All,
that thing's gone.
all accessories get lost. All accessories get lost.
Yeah, I'm not opening this baby, but
No,
It's
those are good.
dudes, unfortunately, that's the only shitty part because when they age.
Right. Yeah.
I got another one I can show you.
Sure.
Bring it.
I'd
Bring
love
it.
it. I'd love to.
I can show you.
Yeah.
Got some cool one. Are you guys okay with this?
Yeah. This is the whole reason why we're here.
Sorry, say that again.
I got some controversial ones. If you
All
want.
right, let's do it. Go for it.
All right, sure.
Yeah.
And what's yours while Carlos is getting his?
All right. So I think everyone would probably think, and probably rightly so, that it would be He-Man of the Master Universe,
Right.
which I love dearly. Right. Same thing with Thundercats. Same thing. I have so many great action figures and toys that I love, but if I had to go back to something which I have to say is going to be my favorite toy, probably of all time. It would have to be Voltron. Voltron, the
Oh,
defender of the
yeah.
universe. It has to be. It has to be Voltron.
Yeah.
As a combining robot, freaking, you have all the best worlds. You have freaking Transformers. You got combining robots. You got, anime. You've got so much going on with Voltron, and it just lasts the test of time. They re-released that thing millions of times and keep selling and selling and selling. It's a great toy. Absolutely, such a great toy.
Yeah.
So Voltron.
So, and I agree, Voltron is awesome. And they're doing, I believe, a 40th anniversary or a 50th.
Yep.
Yeah, is it 40th anniversary?
Konami is re-releasing their 30th anniversary as a 40th anniversary.
Yeah.
But they're adding lights to all the lions.
That
not
looks,
just
amazing.
Oh, yeah.
So, already, since
Sure.
there was a U.S. election yesterday, and this is not American, but I thought it was hilarious.
Oh, come
Oh
on.
my god. Oh my god.
Oh
real?
my god, that's classic. Oh my god.
Oh my
I
god.
can't believe somebody actually like is that a one is that a one-off or who
No, this guy does a whole bunch of customized.
This is what I'm saying. It's a one-off.
Wow.
So I got that one there. And this is his memorable trip to India. As Canadians, you will remember this one.
You got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's got the famous, the honk, the free.
Oh, is that the convoy?
The convoy on the back. There he is.
Oh my god.
Pretty good, eh? Pretty good likeness for a
That's
custom.
crazy.
So
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Anyways, that's I have
Wow.
a bit more, but those are my toys.
I did not expect that.
I wasn't
did not
expecting that
expect
either. I thought
those, I should say.
when he said
That
Carlos
is-
said, yeah.
Come on. That is
Wow. That's
when Carlos said controversial, I was
Yeah.
thinking like aliens. You know what I mean? Like
or like, Elvira, kind of a knockoff something. I didn't expect
I got one of those too. If you want to see that.
Elvira.
yeah, Elvira has a couple of action figures now.
Yeah, I got some signed stuff from her.
So Randall says best action figure of all time for me as a kid was Superpowers Batman, and
Yes,
as an
very
adult,
nice. Very nice.
too many to count. I would have to go by different lines, but it will have Batman in it for sure somewhere. Yeah, I would say Batman. Like there have been so many great Batman toys.
Absolutely.
Here's a question, and Randall, you can chime in. The Batmobile. Some of those Batmobile like vehicles have been absolutely astounding as well too, especially from like the animated series and stuff.
And McFarlane's putting all the those animated Batmobiles. I think we just got in the life-size cow, which was crazy,
Okay.
and affordable price, which is crazy. But my favorite is the '89 Batmobile.
Yes.
I have the sideshow version, which is about 3 feet long.
Yeah.
That's crazy car. Still in the box. I only checked it for the paint job because they had a lot of paint defects.
Okay.
But yeah, it was, that's my favorite, and hoping to display it sometime. When you buy these big toys, and then you realize, damn, where am I going to put this?
Yeah, that's the biggest problem. But,
yeah, for sure. Batfan number 1 says best action figure is the G1 Optimus Prime. And his favorite movie is Terminator. Can't go wrong with that. Let's see if there are some other toy ones. Okay, we're gonna go back to Emperor. Is Predator your favorite toy, or is Predator, or was it, or is? Because I'm assuming this is toys now.
It's probably his favorite movie.
Yeah, it might be his favorite movie, but he did mention Rambo as well too.
Another good movie.
Oh yeah. The toys of a time gone by. 80s is the best, and I miss it. Yeah, there's a lot of great stuff. Like when you think about programming and everything, some of the best stuff was the 80s.
Yeah. And let me ask you, since we were talking about time travel, if you had one choice to go back in time, which decade would you go back to? If you ever had a chance to, it's not to meet anybody in particular, but just a decade. Let's put it as a general question. If you, let's say, for me, I'd love to go back to the Roaring 20s.
Right.
So, and time travel. I would love to go to that time and see how it was.
Right.
Let's say for that. That's my question to you, Steve and Jay.
Well, that's a great question.
Bring some antibiotics.
Oh, for the 20s, yeah. Yeah.
You're using moonshine to freaking fix your wounds, for crying out loud.
Hey,
actually, no, the Roaring 20s, the prohibition started in the 30s, right, or 40s?
No, it was 20.
It was 20s.
Oh, it was the 20s. Okay.
That's Capone.
Yeah,
Capone.
those were the speakeasies and stuff. Yeah.
That life, you know,
Yeah.
see how they lived in crazy times, right?
Yeah. But you're talking about visiting and coming back quick, right?
Whatever.
Well, because they're also events too, right? Like I think like maybe musically, I would probably like to go back to like maybe the 60s for some of the acts, like to see Hendrix live, right? Or some of the jazz greats, or even like the 80s and go see Prince. Like I was too young. I was too young.
Time, you know.
It is, right? But like there was no way my mom was letting me go to a Prince concert at 11, right? But to see him at his height in the, 82, 83, that'd have been great. But like if you're talking about taking in art, aesthetics, sports, man, probably like the late 60s, because like basketball was great, hockey was great, baseball was great, football was great, like the first Super Bowls and stuff. Yeah, probably late 60s. And then the music, can't go wrong. You see films like Planet of the Apes, the Bond movies were coming out, Doctor Strangelove, toys were terrible, but other than that.
Yeah, no, for me it would be straight 80s. I mean, I still my favorite time, growing up, and it's just that age where music was amazing. When music was amazing, they had shows which I could still watch today. You know what I mean? Like it's not, and you could theoretically live there again. You could actually still do work is still abundant. You know what I mean? Like there were a couple of recessions around the time, but if you come in at the right era, there were opportunities for anything to happen. So, and again, it was a magical time for me. Not the 90s was when I was obviously some of my favorite times, but the 80s I still always go back to the 80s no matter what. I love the 70s, you know what I mean, like in terms of like you said, 60s and 70s for the music and for the culture, but I would have to say I'm going to stick to the 80s, because again, movies at around that time were just so experimental. Say anything, anything with John Hughes. John Hughes was just killing it back then.
Uncle Buck and stuff like that.
Yeah, and that was, and you know what? Spielberg was just coming into his own. You know what I mean? Like just some classic, Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Just amazing films. Raiders of the Lost Ark, right? So many great films.
But so you guys took that question, you cheated, because we lived those.
I'm not cheating. I'm just saying I want to go back.
But we've been there.
Yeah, but a totally
It was supposed to say the 60s, and I'd say, yeah, Steve, I'd love to go back to the 60s to experience Woodstock and that whole San Francisco.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Okay.
Vibe and all that stuff. I see some NHL hockey back then.
Original Six. Carlos, could you imagine some Original Six hockey? Watching Bobby Orr play for the first time?
Watching the Leafs versus the Habs and the Leafs.
Oh, yeah.
Cup.
Yeah.
Okay. At least I would get to see the Leafs win the cup.
Now that's a time travel story that needs to be written.
7, baby, but
a Leaf fan who can only see them win because he has to go back in time to 67. Lord.
If that's the prerequisite, then I think I would like to go back far enough to see to travel the world and see what the pyramids look like.
That would be for me the next one,
because you always hear
it's hard to say the pyramids in a decade there, but
I know, but
when they were being constructed, I'd love to see how they were constructed.
I want to see the limestone, because I heard it was brilliant. You know what I mean? Like it was like this just huge freaking. When the sun hit it, it was like you're blinded. You know what I mean? And I want to see the Sphinx when its nose was intact. You know what I mean? I want to see all those wonderful.
Napoleon shot it off.
It wasn't a Sphinx before, right? So they built over top of it and resculpted.
Yeah, sure.
And in water, which is part of the history because all the erosion around it used to be embedded in water. But
yeah, because the climate was completely different back then. The geography was different.
It was.
Yeah, interesting. Let's see what other toys. Let's see here.
Abbott says Masterpiece Optimus Prime MP10, the first MP10.
Oh wait, before we do that, Brave Star.
Yep,
action figure I got when I was 5 years old is
Absolutely.
the best of all time. I do remember that. And so, give me the time code on that one for the one that you just read out.
No, it's Abbott 1107.
Okay, I'll scroll to it.
Yeah.
Well, the 1107.
Brave Star did have pretty good articulation. Not gonna lie, he was okay, but they were big. They were big, much bigger. Like they were like 8 or 9 inch tall figures. They were pretty big.
How about when Marvel Legends hit? Like that was like
Toy Biz
into Legends. That was like, you know, and you could piece them together. The Build-A-Figures. That was like,
and
put that fantastic Pit figure together. Build.
Oh right.
Oh, that was insane. Or that Sentinel. I wish they would do more stuff like that again. I know they do it now with, you know, McFarlane's doing it with 4 pieces. You build a Bane or something like that. Mm-hmm. I think we've when you go to Hasbro's gone backwards in my mind with their toy designs and their packaging. It's just crap.
Right.
Rehashing the same shit. How many times can you rehash the same figure over and over on the same mold? You know, it's
right.
That's Star Wars, right? By the way,
that's exactly why confidence in that brand is just failing. You know, and it was reported just recently they're gonna start layoffs again. They literally laid off like 4,000 people just like last year, and now they're gonna lay off another few hundred people. It's absolutely crazy. Like, you know, they have some of the biggest brands connected to them, and it's just crazy, absolutely nuts.
Abbott, you got us on this one. 60s boxing, Sonny Liston. Oh, and
Muhammad Ali.
Yep. Ali pre going to jail for not going to the Vietnam War. That would have been something else.
Did he go to jail? I thought he
he spent time in prison.
Wow.
Yeah, and I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Carlos, didn't he throw his Olympic medal in either the river or the lake or something like that at a protest? Yeah.
Too bad.
He went to prison. He didn't go. I think after a lot of protesting, he was released.
Yeah.
Such a huge figure. He probably one of the most compelling figures in sports history. Muhammad Ali
and Jim Brown and oh gosh, it was him and Kareem, the three of them with the civil rights movement. They were pretty influential. 2 things: the Toy Biz Lord of the Rings toys. I do not remember these at all.
The original Lord of the Rings toy, like from the Tolkien toys from the 80s.
I think it might have been that one that he's talking about. Yeah, the
3 3/4 inch, the small
the Rankin and Bass cartoons. Yeah, I think
right. And then there was a comment earlier that I flashed up about an Aliens toy from Kenner from the 70s.
That was banned.
Sorry,
that was banned. Actually, that was
a bigger. Yeah, very hard to find that one.
Because it was recalled. It was recalled.
Choking hazard?
Huh?
Choking hazard?
No, it was just controversial. It was the first R-rated toy, the very first R-rated toy to hit the market.
Or the Flying Fist Godzilla. Or remember Godzilla?
I had that. I love that with the Shogun Warriors.
Those were choking.
I love that toy, man.
Same thing with Boba Fett, Rocket Fire, Boba Fett. Those
Boba Fett, my buddy, he's a good friend of mine. He owns the one and only one of the 5 protos.
Right.
Got the only paint scratch, the tester one.
Wow.
I believe a couple of months ago, one of those prototypes sold for, was it $1 million at auction or $250,000 or something like that?
It was
Wow.
definitely up there. It was like
Is the only paint scratch one. So I know he bought it for about 100,000 US, and he's easy looking at 7 figures right now on that.
yeah.
Sorry,
He's,
sorry. Can you repeat that again? 100K. That's old.
He
Yeah.
paid. I'm pretty sure he paid like 150,000 for that Boba Fett prototype, somewhere around there. But now it's like when he bought it, he was trading in a lot of books plus cash to a guy, and now that figure can easily fetch over $1 million easy.
Yeah, if it's
Right.
graded and the providence is there, yeah, 100%, absolutely.
Yeah.
Cool.
Um,
Do you remember this one, James?
Yeah, of
Original
course.
Megatron. It was a
Of
multi.
course.
Is that the one that turned into the gun, right?
It was the one that turned into a gun, and it was actually quite fragile. You could transform it, and like you said, like Jay said, you can go out, or the trigger worked. You know what I mean? Like everything about it was really cool. But if you dropped it once, it was done. It was over. It was not a very durable toy, unfortunately.
I'm gonna go back here to wasted years because I'd like some information on this one. One of my only memories of getting a specific toy for Xmas was Sector's Spydrax with the spider puppet. Don't remember what it's called. Awesome toy though. That one is.
No, but you just said it. It's Sector Spider.
Yeah, I don't remember it at all. I don't remember.
It is they were a line of toys from Coleco, and
Coleco. Ooh,
yeah, Coleco.
it's a name from the past,
the Connecticut Leather Company.
right?
So they would basically they had these hand puppets, and they would have like plastic what's it called, mounts at the top, and the whole gimmick was that they were all insect beings, but they all had insect familiars. So it was a lot of fun.
That line was what, mid 80s?
Mid 80s.
Yeah.
It only lasted one wave.
One wave. So do you know a guy Froggy Flips? You ever hear?
I do know Froggy Flips. Yeah.
I watched the episode where he went to one of those toy shows or something.
Yeah.
Found like all the sectors.
Did he find the hive?
It was fantastic. Yeah, that guy he's got some good stuff.
He spends a lot of money too. That guy, when he says he flips, he flips.
He makes a lot of money off his views too, but he's a good guy. I like his content.
Right. Night Train also says, I also thought the DC Classic stuff was ace.
Which one? DC Direct or DC like which DC you're talking about?
Superpower or the old Migos?
I like the superpower stuff. I did like the superpowers when it came out.
I love the superpower stuff. Yeah, absolutely.
Randall says Rocket Fire, Battlestar, Galactica Vipers, and Cylon Raiders. Yeah.
Yep.
That's right, because those, I think they had the missiles were like small red things, right? That used to shoot out of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did like the design of those ships though.
Nobody mentioned G.I. Joe, the old G.I. Joe figures, anything like that? The ships?
Yeah. They're, I mean, like, that's definitely, I'm pretty sure, on everybody's list. But people are right now naming stuff, I think, or not really but things that really meant to them. Because G.I. Joe had such a long run. You know what I mean? I think that's really why a lot of people look at other nostalgic toys. I think that's really why. But Carlos, you're absolutely right. G.I. Joe. 100%.
Yeah. Arnold, I'm going to agree with you on this one. There was nothing I liked better than at Christmas time getting an AFX track and then racing with my cousins. I used to love those with the they had like the brushes.
No, they had the
gun.
The trigger. They had the trigger.
Yeah.
Or
then we had a lap counter as well too.
What was the one we used to build the track through the house with the loops?
Hot Wheels?
Was it the Hot Wheels?
It was the orange track, right?
Orange track.
Yeah. Hot Wheels.
Oh, that was
yeah, those are good. Those are good times.
They still have them now. They still sell the Hot Wheels tracks. Awesome.
Cute Coat says my prize toy is a 1995 Dark Stalkers Felicia Flock vinyl action figure, one of the first things Metacom ever made.
Yeah, that was a really good one. It was less a figure and more a statue though. It's more like
Darkinen, the USS flag was legendary. Even kids who weren't into Joe's at least knew what it was. It has to be probably the greatest playset in toy history. Nothing like it before or since.
Yeah.
That was humongous.
It was massive.
I had a friend that had that, and we used to play on that thing for hours. And I was just, wow, it was massive.
Yeah,
Oh,
trying to
yeah.
get one today is just an undertaking. I mean, like all the missing pieces, they had pieces which were this freaking small. It was absolutely insane.
Yeah.
And those ones are the most expensive pieces. If you can actually find the small little junction pieces,
Yeah.
it's nuts.
Now, can you 3D print those pieces now?
Yes, you can. Obviously, you can 3D print them today, but obviously, collectors really want
the
the
OG
authenticity,
pieces.
right? And they are notoriously fragile. Like they can break in a moment. It's crazy. Particularly the little junction pieces which hold the entire superstructure together. You know what I mean? The ramp deck. Yeah, those are
Yeah.
just absolutely like nuts, just bonkers.
James, is this the upscaled one? Is this the one that you showed me like a couple of months ago? It was the massive version of it, or is this something else?
There was only ever one flag, and it is the same one he's talking about. It's literally
Okay.
like it's 6 feet tall.
Yeah, it's crazy.
If you were to stand it on its edge
It's
and all the way up, it's 6 feet
Yeah.
tall. It is
Yeah.
massive, massive.
I don't remember the retail on that back then, but I want to say it was like $200 or something like that.
No, believe it or not, US maybe Canada USD. It was I believe it was 99.99. I believe it was,
Which was $200.
200 Canadians. About well,
Yeah, that was
just absolutely nuts.
that thing to be produced now would probably be in the $800 range. I could.
So there are obviously with HasLab and crowdfunding, the guesstimates for many would be that if you're going for a short run,
Yeah.
like anything less than 10K, it's probably going to be in the $600 to $800 to fund that, right? Each. If you go for broke,
I would.
yeah, absolutely. An incomplete example now is almost $600. Incomplete, no box, right?
How much was Galactus with that they did
Galactus was Galactus was 350.
350. Okay.
350.
What was the run on Galactus?
USD?
Galactus is one of the most successful HasLabs of all time. I believe it was 20. I believe it was upwards of 20,000. 20,000.
I have two of them, and it was beautiful.
And guys,
Wow.
that's rare.
It's crazy, beautiful.
When you think about it, that's still rare. I mean, toy numbers are in the tens of thousands. You know, like 50,000, 60,000, right? To get something as low as 25 to 30,000, that's nothing. You know what I mean? But it was still one of the most successful HasLabs, right? The flag, undoubtedly, if they can get it anywhere near $600, that thing is gonna freaking like they will go in numbers of 30 or 40,000. No, I have no doubt in my mind, and even that is still rare. Again, it's when you're getting to like 60 or 70 or 80,000, that's when the actual numbers are big. But
do they when they do that? Did they redesign the whole ship, or did they go back to the original?
No. The way these are first of all, the old molds are gone. They can't use them anymore. They're either they've been destroyed or they're just not usable, right? Because of warping and because of they're metal molds after all. No, they have to design it from scratch, which is where most of the money goes to because of the research and development. And then the actual shipping component of it, it's crazy. Like the box they have to use to actually get that thing out. I mean, think about how big the box was originally, and today it will be even bigger. It's nuts. And how do you ship that? The shipping is the biggest problem because getting it to somebody, the Cat's Lair, for example, which is one of the biggest playsets, if not the biggest playset on the market today, right? That thing is going to be shipped in 2 boxes. Like they just can't because this one here, the Snake Mountain that I have right here, right? Yeah. This thing is gigantic. Like the box that came in, and then of course Unicron up here, the box that he came in. You know what I mean? Those are just massive boxes. And then when you actually think about something like Cat's Lair, which is even bigger than Snake Mountain, they have to come up with unique ways of actually shipping these things now. It's crazy.
Who put out Snake Mountain? Was that
That was Super 7 back
Super 7?
back in 2017, I think. I think it was 2017.
2017? Okay. Which one did Super 7 just put out?
That's Kessler. That's Kessler. Yeah.
And that's a big box too.
Yeah, it's going to be split in two. They can't do it. They have to split it in two, Carlos. It's crazy. It is nuts. So if you got a couple for the shop, you're going to have multiple boxes.
Had more space to have that flag just displayed with all the figures on it.
That would look so good in a diorama. Yeah.
Oh man,
you know what people have done, which is crazy. They've hung it on. They've hung it on fish wire on the roof. It's just it is crazy.
Not bad. We have a new comment here from Ash D. My favorite time traveling movies are Butterfly Effect and Time Traveler's Wife, the movie, not the show. Now, I think Butterfly Effect, was that Ashton Kutcher?
Yes, that was Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I think I've started a list of actors I don't want to see anymore. Or from what? So yeah, it's sad, but a lot of my favorite actors have made the list, so I'm not gonna be watching or supporting any of that shit anymore.
Right. Good question here, and you toy experts can probably help answer this one. Have you not seen figures and playsets are getting bigger every year? What was the biggest 1980s action figure? 12 inches?
Bigger?
Okay. That's go ahead.
Wasn't it the Alien one? 18-inch.
So here's the thing, and that was 70s, by the way. The Aliens figures were the 70s. It's a tough call because there were so many big toys. Did he say action figure specifically, or did he say toy?
Action.
I think it was action figure.
Okay.
Jesse Perez says it's the Kenner 14-inch Terminator.
Oh yeah.
I mean, but you could still argue there were still like, for example, there were jumbo He-Mans, right? Which are arguable. Well, those are closer to 12 to 13 inches. There was just so many other things that, I mean, if you want to be like,
Star
ridiculous.
Wars.
Yeah.
So the Shogun Warriors were those
were the
70s?
Those were 70s. Shogun Warriors were the 70s. And I know what you're saying because those were closer to 16 inches, right?
Yeah.
And I personally have downstairs a motorized Voltron, which is arguably 16 inches if you actually include the motorized base, right? So there's still a lot of wiggle room for that question. So we'd have to do more research though, because there's a lot. But I think the 14-inch one is pretty close. That's not a bad toss up. Let me noodle on that. That's actually a really good question.
Right. Darkonin, I remember this commercial too. I really admire the US flag toy commercial. That was brilliant and sold the crap out of that toy as if it needed it.
I'd love to agree with you, Darkonin, but the reality is the flag did not sell well. That thing,
I just watched that commercial on YouTube or somewhere like a few months ago, and it just took me back to that time when
I know, so good.
Or when it came on TV, and you're like, "Wow!"
It's like I gotta get that.
It was a great commercial for sure.
No, my parents,
my parents, no.
But that's the key, right? And the reason it didn't sell well is because only rich kids. I'm sorry to say, only rich families could afford that thing,
or people who had a house big enough, for a room that would house it.
No, that didn't matter. Kids figured a way out. Trust me. But it was just moreover, you had to have really good grades in order to get that thing, man. It was that or Pow Pow Power Wheels, because those things. Like, what parent is going to really spend $100 back then? Anyway, what parent was really going to spend $100 on one toy? Sure, it was the biggest toy ever, right? But you would have to have gotten really good grades to really get that thing. Or
Carlos, how big was the Millennium? How expensive was the Millennium Falcon in the 70s?
Not really. It was
like $30.
It was like $30 to $40. It was like $20 to $30. It was not. That was not super expensive.
It was more than that.
Maybe Hold on, let me check. Let me check really quick.
Yeah.
I remember in 82, 83, my parents bought me a tabletop Donkey Kong. It was like those mini arcade.
Oh, those were amazing.
And I remember them being in around the $80 to $100, if that's
Right.
right. I'm not sure.
So I think you're talking about Canadian prices though, Carlos, possibly.
Yeah, Canadian.
So US prices, it was retailing at $26.99 for the Millennium Falcon.
Well,
Wow.
was that the 70s, late 70s?
Yeah. Again, it was, like inflation wasn't nearly as bad back then, right? And toys were for kids, right? That's the whole point, right? And it sold in droves. That's why it was so low.
I loved my Millennium Falcon.
What was the average price on the 3 3/4 inch Star Wars? Was it like a $2.99?
Oh, they were really cheap. Hold on for a second. Let's just put up Kenner. Let's say Luke from 1977. His MSRP. He was $1.99.
Wow, eh?
Yeah, $2.
Yeah,
and that was
got you $2.
And that was expensive.
I want if we were to do the conversion rate and put it to today's dollars, would that be the equivalent of a 6-inch Hasbro Star Wars toy? Let's say from the Black Series, is that equivalent to $30? No?
Let's find out. I'm looking it up right now.
While you're doing that,
all right,
$1. So go ahead.
$1 in 1977 is worth $5.20 today.
So that'd be like $11. Well, okay,
Yeah.
Still be a steal though.
Yeah, it is a steal. It is 100% a steal.
Definitely. Darkona says getting Matchbox Lion Voltron was incredible. It was $80. I was floored. It was only it was one of the only things that I got that year, and I was cool with that. Yeah.
Voltron is the best.
Clint Jorgensen.
I didn't even know Matchbox did Voltron back then.
Yes, originally, so the original version was a licensed figure from Popey in Japan, and Matchbox was the one to get the first license.
Okay.
So but the Matchbox version sucked. I mean, it was arguably still made of the same die cast, but they removed all the weapons. You didn't get a blazing shield. You didn't get a blazing sword. You didn't get any of the mini weapons that come with the.
So then, what's the point?
There was Voltron because he could transform. He could like
the weapons. Though the weapons are so cool.
I know. That's why I said the Matchbox version sucks. Right? You know what we ended up doing when I was a kid? We went to Chinatown and found the actual Popey version. That was what we did. That's how hardcore.
You guys sourced out the original, the good stuff.
Yeah, and what was really terrible about that was everybody called those bootlegs when they were actually the original freaking toy. We didn't know shit when we were kids, man.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what was really fun? I don't know if you guys remember this. Do you guys remember the quartz transforming watch? I don't know if you guys remember that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The arms and the legs would kind of come out. But it was a digital watch.
It was so cool. Yeah. It was so much fun.
I only had the calculator ones. Remember the
Yeah. Who made those? Were those Casio?
Casio.
Yeah, Casio did the calculator. The buttons were so freaking tiny. I remember freaking.
You need to have that was pre-stylus, man. You use your pen for it.
If you think about it's like the cell phones. Remember we used to have that big Motorola.
The Zach Morris
down to the Razor.
Yes,
we're going the opposite.
Yeah, they're coming back. Yeah,
can't even hold some of those iPhones.
What about the fold? Have you seen the folding ones? Those are great.
But they're starting to get like fissures in the middle.
No, not starting. They always had this little fissure, right? But now it's more pronounced, right? It's just,
LGB and Hulk Hogan 18-inch. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I have one of those somewhere around, and I have a on card one as well.
Yeah, LJN was doing some funny things back in the day. They did Thundercats, you know what I mean, and they did a whole bunch of different licenses. So it was always a lot of fun with LJN.
Yeah, just think about it though, like all that innovation. Like I know some of it might seem kind of clunky or a little bit on the kitschy, cheesy side, but there were so many innovations in toys, and gadgets that like we were getting our minds blown.
Yeah,
every couple of years.
but that's the point, right? It was a time where experimentation was a huge the movies, television, everything. The 80s was that magical time where technology was just at the point of actually becoming cool, right? But not quite as groundbreaking as it is today, right?
Right.
Today we have leaps and bounds every single year. It's exponentially, it's going crazy. But back in the 80s, there was some really cool tech, man. Like, do you remember the little robots, the freaking Radio Shack robots that they used to have? Like,
Oh, yeah.
those are really fun.
Yeah.
Useless.
Remote control cars and all that kind of stuff back in the day.
Yeah.
If you, Jay, since you're a big toy collector, what's one figure that you buy all the time, or do you have a collection of figures? Let's say like Boba Fett, and you just keep buying Boba Fett's and have an army of Boba Fett's. Or
that is a really good question. I will say I have in my collection I have 6 Voltrons. Yeah,
all the same figure?
No, not the same. Like every time a new one comes out, right? I tend to buy it.
Yeah. But I got the same. Like you know how some TMNT collectors get like 20 foot soldiers or but I'm gonna tell you mine. I really don't know how it started, but I have 12 or 13 original Battle Cats.
Oh wow.
Wow.
For some reason,
awesome.
everywhere I travel, I see a Battle Cat, I buy a Battle Cat. And the purple one with the velvet, yeah, there it is. Is that the new version though?
No, this is the original. The new version doesn't look as good.
I believe I have 12 or 13 of those, and about 8 with harnesses and some without.
You are a gem.
The purple one. Panther. That's it. I got about 4 Panthers.
Yeah.
And it's hard to find those with no wear on the velvet, on like the fur or the purple fur.
Nearly impossible to find that flocked perfect on that one. Nearly impossible. Block is almost always destroyed. So,
I've never seen a box one before.
I've seen a couple box ones that are very, very expensive, and then you got this beast.
Oh, wow.
Is that the new one?
Yeah, this is the Mondo.
Oh, that's Mondo.
Yeah, it's Mondo. It's a freaking.
It looks heavy.
No, it's a cat, dude. It's a pet.
It's die-cast?
It's my new pet cat. It's literally, this is my pet cat. Like this is no joke. This thing. Come here, Chris.
It'll knock your microphone off the table at some point if it's your new pet cat.
This is literally
size of the Revelations.
Say that again, Carlos.
Is that the size of the Revelations?
It is. It's not the Revelations. This is the size. This is a 1/6. These are 1/6.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah. This was $600. This was $600.
Wow.
Jeez.
And that's not Canadian. That's American.
I just love buying Battle Cats.
Yeah. Battle Cat is the best.
Battle Cats. Actually, I probably own like 50 or 60 original Stormtroopers as well from the 70s. So.
Yeah, I remember you talk about Stormtroopers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when Empire came out, and then they came out with the Stormtroopers that were on Hoth.
Yeah.
And then they had the biker, the speeder bike version of the Stormtroopers. I always liked those designs back then.
Yeah. I was always captured by the red Imperial Guard.
Oh yeah.
Loved
them.
Yeah.
Those were always the ones that I thought they looked badass, but they were pussies, man. Did you see Yoda? Who was it? The Emperor basically shooed them away. They didn't do anything in the film. Yeah. Right? And then here comes Yoda, goes, wow.
But speaking of Star Wars toys or vehicles, actually, I loved Vader's TIE Fighter. But they were like hardly anyone ever had them. And I think the only places that we could get them back in the day were, I think it was some place called Consumers Distributing.
Yes.
That's where I used to work.
Really?
Yeah.
With those little golf pencils where you had to fill out.
Yeah, what was it called?
Man, I love that place.
That's old school Amazon, guys. You got to
basically it was Amazon. You're correct.
Amazon.
But they never had anything in stock. Every time we went there, I was like, "Do you have this in stock?" No.
Because I guess it's been a lot. Because we
Tell
stole
them, Carlos.
damn it, they're so
Tell
easy.
them, Carlos.
Jesus. The back door was always open.
All right, Abbott, I got you, brother. I got you. Gummy bears bouncing here and there and everywhere. There you go, Abbott. That was for you, Abbott. There you go.
Gummy bears.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
Back
Actually,
in the day.
I just bought a collection with gummy bears in it. I'm pretty sure, and I think it was I don't know. It came in Care Bears and Gummy Bears.
Care Bears, awesome.
Yeah.
I love Care Bears.
You know what?
They just reissued them.
I got a question for you guys because this is starting to go through the chat.
Sure.
Favorite cartoon theme song?
Favorite cartoon theme song? Oh my God! For me, it's hands down. Actually, Carlos, what was your favorite cartoon theme song?
I need a second.
You need a second. Okay. All right, I'll tell you mine. Thundercats, hands down.
Hands
down, Thundercats.
Thundercat or He-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, that's where
Carlos is a man after my own heart, man. That's exactly
that's
For me, it was Star Blazers.
Star Blazers.
Star Blazers was fun. It was.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Another classic, Captain Caveman. Does that count?
Oh my gosh! And I also liked Johnny Quest because that's like when all the theme songs were great.
Yeah. We're only talking about cartoons, right? Not
only cartoons. Only cartoons.
Yeah. Flintstones was good, you know.
That was fun. Yeah, it was always fun. Scooby Doo.
Yeah,
lots of.
That was quite singable for sure.
Yeah.
Name me one from today that's catchy. A modern
thing. Teen Titans.
Besides anime.
Come on, dude.
Teen Titans.
The Japanese one, yeah. I'm trying to think.
And no anime, right? Because the anime, some of the
anime. Yeah, no, anime always has rockin' tunes,
yeah.
though. But if I had to, I'm trying to think of here's the thing.
Spectacular Spider-Man.
Can we say there's X-Men?
Oh, yeah. 97. Yeah.
But they're recycling the original song, which is not bad. I mean, I love that song.
But those are great.
My employees just introduced me to anime music.
Just now.
Stuff, man.
Carlos, welcome. Welcome.
You're about 20 years too late there, Carlos.
I love this stuff. And then I told them about a show called Warrior. You ever watch Warrior?
Yeah.
And that soundtrack is fantastic.
Yeah, it's great.
And I introduced them to Warrior soundtrack, and then now all they want to play is Warrior at the shows, Warrior at the store. So yeah, I gotta listen to more anime music.
Some good stuff, definitely.
Who would have thought a 52-year-old listened to anime music? My God,
I was listening to anime.
Yeah, music's music, man.
Music.
Avengers EMH has a good theme song. What is Avengers EMH?
EMH.
That was one of the shows in the 90s, I think. Avengers. What is EMH? Yeah, come on. Now you got me curious.
Yeah. Joe OC says Muppet Babies was his favorite theme.
Muppet Babies.
Oh, Earth's Mightiest Heroes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Of course. EMC. EMH. Sorry, EMH. Yeah. SpongeBob.
Late night.
Hold on a second. That one moved on me. These are coming in. Firefox had SpongeBob.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know the eras that we're working with now.
Mm-hmm.
Heathcliff, no one should.
Okay, so you knew that one? I did not.
Yeah, man. That was a great show.
Yeah. No.
That was like early 90s.
Oh. Speed Racer.
Speed Racer.
Definitely.
Go Speed Racer.
Yeah.
Or Go Power Rangers.
Power Rangers.
Great. Yeah, that's a great theme.
Great theme song. And you know who wrote that?
If that doesn't get you hyped, nothing will.
You know who produced that song?
No.
Simon Cowell.
Excuse me?
Simon Cowell produced the Power Rangers theme song. Yeah.
Wow.
Can you believe that?
Yeah. Actually, the G.I. Joe one was pretty good.
Oh, totally.
Oh, the G.I. Joe. The G.I. Joe theme song, the G.I. Joe intro, pure anime. Beautiful, beautiful stuff.
that was a time where it was just pushing American patriotism, everything.
Yeah.
Oh,
You had the Hulkster with the Americana, and you had GI Joe.
Sergeant Slaughter was even
Sergeant
part
Slaughter,
of
yeah.
it.
Sergeant Slaughter.
What was the other toy line? And they had it's similar. They try to copy GI Joe.
There are a bunch. I know in Europe they had to call it Action Force.
It was North America. It
Yeah.
was.
Are you thinking of Mask?
Mask? Was it Mask? Yeah.
Mask is one of them for sure, but
I think it was Mask, and Mask didn't last too long. It didn't sell well.
Mask did not sell that well.
No.
I don't think there were too many other army-based brands. I think that's probably the closest one to it. Yeah.
Mask was the one.
Centurions, I think, might have been another one.
Centurions,
Yeah,
that's right.
Centurions was really good.
We have Inspector Gadget was also
so much
catchy.
fun.
That was Canadian.
That was pure Canadian. Yeah. It was produced by
was that Nelvana?
It was Nelvana. I believe it was Nelvana, yeah. Or Deke. It was either
maybe Deke
or Nelvana.
Alvin the Chipmunks.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah, that was fun. Yeah, Saturday morning cartoons. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the best time. Saturday
time.
cartoons.
Yeah. Saturday morning cartoons was so much fun.
It was the only time you'd want to get up early so you can catch all your cartoons.
True. Silverhawk as well as Jace and the Wheeled Warriors.
Those are some great intros. 100%. Like again, rocking intros. What I don't like about today's cartoons and intros is they're more like what are they called? They're more like clip farms. You know what I mean? They're actually just taking clips from the show. Whereas all the early 80s shows, they were all fully animated, fully designed, and the songs were purpose made for the show. It's crazy.
Okay, so you guys are gonna have to jog my old man memory. I don't know if it was the GI Joe movie where they have the attack around the Empire State Building,
Statue of Liberty.
Statue of Liberty. That's right.
Liberty.
That was animated so amazingly well, and then the theme song blaring at the same time.
That was so good. That was so good.
That was peak.
It was great. That was the height of G.I. Joe, and they wanted to avoid the same situation they had with Transformers, which basically traumatized kids. But they still traumatized. Like that was the first time I saw blood in a cartoon character. I was like, "What is that?" It was crazy. It was so good. Absolutely,
for sure. I remember was it Don Johnson? I think this was around like Johnson? Serpentor.
He was Falcon. No, he was Falcon.
He was Falcon, but he was in the episode or the movie.
What's it called? Globulus was played by Meredith
Burgess.
Yes, Meredith Burgess. Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
Rocky, you're a bum. Rock, you're a bum.
Save some for the sequel.
Save some for the sequel. I love that commercial. That was an awesome commercial.
6 a.m. Everyone's talking about getting up early to watch.
Yes.
To watch cartoons.
Love the Cookie Crisp.
The Laugh Olympics. I love that show.
Of course. What was it called? Snaggletooth.
Snagglepuss. Heavens to Morgatrude.
Man.
It was basically like there was a film. I think my dad had me watch it. It's a mad world where they're like chasing around.
Yeah.
Almost like a big scavenger hunt.
Yeah. It was,
and Laugh Olympics is kind of like.
Yeah. That was John Cleese. That was John Cleese, right? That was John Cleese.
It might have been. I haven't seen it probably since I was a kid.
Yeah. It was really good.
And then where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? And there's a cartoon. This is a deep cut, and I think it was Canadian produced. I think it was a Canadian France production. Cyber 6. Animation was off the chain.
Brazilian comic book.
Yeah. Really?
Brazilian comic book. It was a Brazilian comic book.
Cyber 6 was amazing.
It was. And it only lasted one season. It was like six or eight.
6 or 7. Yeah, maybe that.
6 or 8 episodes. That was it. It did not last a full 12. It was really great animation. The storyline was great. You know what I mean? It holds
up to this day.
Oh, hell yeah.
Cyber 6 animation to this day is still mid.
Yeah. Absolutely, 100%. It was anime, but it was North American anime. It was crazy. It was really good.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
Mother Slug comes in with some facts. that G.I. Joe movie opening wasn't the actual movie, as it was changed, so the beginning didn't match the story.
No, but Mother Slug, that was like if you actually think about it, that was actually the television opening,
Yeah.
right? It was supposed to run syndication, so they ended up putting it at the beginning of the film anyway. But it doesn't matter. It was actually supposed to be the syndicated opening.
Yeah. Darken, and I was bummed when Robotech killed off Roy Fokker. Yes, right up to with Optimus Prime. Yeah, that was that was tough. Also,
it was terrible.
Oh, we were talking about it last week or a couple weeks ago. Paladin when Starbender.
Yes, he didn't die, dude.
He didn't die, but when you thought he was dead, I was like, no, because he was my guy. Star Arrow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Give me Star Arrow any day.
Yeah, Hummer's good, but Paladin's the man.
Oh yeah.
That was really cool. And what was it called? Series took over for him for that episode, so it was really good.
Who remembers Eek the Cat and Thunder Lizards?
Eek the Cat was hilarious. Eek the Cat was that was early. That was in line with Ren and Stimpy. They were trying to do something kind of like Ren and Stimpy.
That was early '90s, right?
It was
early
'90s.
Ren and Stimpy was bent, man.
And Thunder Lizards was the same. It was that same Nickelodeon type of gag. So,
did you guys see Silverhawks? Do you remember?
I love Silverhawks.
Oh, Silverhawks was great. Yeah,
another great theme song.
Yeah, we talked about it a couple of weeks ago because they're coming up with a new series.
They're coming with I told you, they came out with Sector's comics.
Yep, and the Sector's Nacelle came back with toys too.
Yeah.
But Silverhawks, one of the greatest guitar riffs in cartoon history.
All time.
Great stuff.
Yeah, definitely. So since we're on the cartoons, and Jay and I had this little bit of a conversation earlier, is there a toy line that is there a cartoon or an IP that needs a toy line that really hasn't had one yet, or needs one updated? You mentioned one that doesn't have one. I think it was it Visionaries?
Visionary. I think
Visionaries is one. Yeah.
Didn't they do some Visionary? I'm pretty sure they did a Visionary.
They did Visionary toys, right?
Yeah.
But all right. So hold on. Are we talking about toys that need to come back? Or are we talking about that he never made toys?
Never, never
made toys.
An IP that needs a toy line that hasn't had one yet.
Okay, that's different.
That's real hard though.
That is pretty tough.
I'm just wondering if there's a deep cut where
it has to be a real shitty like.
The thing is, if you dig deep enough, you'll probably find something that was a toy. But if you're looking for like a mainline thing that was actually kind of important,
like for instance, Micronauts had one, but has there been a Micronauts toy line since?
No, but that's the thing. Micronauts did have toys, right?
They did. But have they had one since the 80s?
No, but like
the Davy and Goliath.
Oh, the Christian shows. Yeah, I know what you're saying there.
Oh my God, yeah.
Sure, would do pretty good.
You know what? I'm going to go ahead and say Rocket Robin Hood. Rocket Robin Hood has never, as far as I know, Rocket Robin Hood has never had a toy line.
Yeah, Dimension 5, man.
Bearstein Bears.
I'm sure the toys go somewhere.
I think they have McDonald's toys. Almost guaranteed they have McDonald's toys. I'm gonna say, what's it called? Shoot, I had it on the top of my head and then I forgot. It'll come back to me though. But there are probably a few franchises like Cyber Six never had a toy line.
Cyber 6 never did have one.
Yeah, as far as I know,
Pirates of Darkwater. I've never heard of them.
There were toys.
Pirates
of Darkwater had toys, 100%.
Is Cyber 6? I wonder if the licenses still is available to purchase.
Probably.
And then you can. Well, I don't know how popular it was, but
I don't think it's popular enough. It's a repressed memory for most people, but
that was 90s, right?
Hold up. Would the figures hold up today? Like, because you're saying the design was pretty good.
No, it would be great. Okay, so I would kickstart that though. I would definitely kickstart it. Like it would need a Kickstarter because yes, the characters were memorable enough that you could do something. Particularly the villains. The villains were pretty cool. Like there were these Frankenstein type villains.
Yeah, they were great.
And there was this tiny little kid who was the mastermind. And the love interest. He's pretty cool too.
Mhm.
Look
So
up Cyber 6 just to
and
refresh.
you'd have to get the Panther. The Panther is 100%
Oh
necessary
yeah,
for
Carlos, you'd buy Mad
You know what? There's
Panthers.
potential here that we could do something with this.
yeah,
Pretty
100%.
sure.
Yeah,
There are people who remember it. There are people who remember it.
trying to
I
see
already
if I
have
can.
I already have a toy manufacturer who we can work with. Okay, so toy lines that never had a chance, right? Or cartoons that never had a chance. It's tough. There are just so many good cartoons that yeah, you know what? I'll say Doctor Snuggles. I don't think Doctor Snuggles ever had a cartoon.
Dr. Snuggles. Okay.
Yeah, man.
6. There we go.
Yeah,
So there's
that's-
Cyber 6.
Yeah.
So kind of Carmen
Wait.
Sandiego meets Catwoman.
This was what, two seasons or
not even like
Not
like
even.
a half a season, if that. Like eight episodes, I think.
what year was this?
1990.
Question.
No, actually, it was closer to the 2000s, right? It was like 1998.
That's a
Yeah.
good question.
Yeah,
I-
I think it was closer to the 2000s. It was.
Yeah, I was too busy adulting at that time.
Yeah. So 13 episodes.
Was it 13? Wow.
Yeah, 1999.
Woohoo!
So,
I was so close. I was
so
a year
close.
off. I was a year off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like the designs are great.
Oh,
like
yeah.
the animation was smooth.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had it had one season, so yeah, pretty cool. Not bad at
Yeah.
all. I'm trying to think of another really cool toy that never really had. Sorry, a really cool property in the '80s that never actually had a toy. It's kind of rough. It's a hard thing to remember now.
I know it's derivative, but Firefox has Spaceballs. Was there ever any toys?
Haha.
Baseballs.
The answer is
Dark Helmet.
the answer is kinda. They kind of had, but they weren't really. They were more like toys, like little tchotchkes. They weren't really action
Right.
figures. But you know what? I would expect one day that NECA's going to do that. Like NECA would definitely go in for that one. 100%. It's probably just hard to license.
NECA just released some Ben Cooper toys, right?
Did they? For who? For which show?
Ben Cooper. The designer from the 60s or 70s that designed all the Halloween costumes?
Yes. Now I know what you're talking about. Yeah, and they look awesome.
I've been seeing them. It's basically figures, kids dressed up in the Ben Cooper design costume.
That's cool.
Pretty cool.
Steve, if you look at those, you'll be like, oh my god, that's my childhood. They look so good. They look
I'm
really,
gonna check out Ben Cooper right now.
Check it out, Ben Cooper NECA toys. It's
yeah.
pretty
To check out Ben Cooper Halloween NECA figures.
Halloween NECA.
They're really really cool. Oh, the Snorks was a rip off of the of the Smurfs, dude. Come on.
yeah.
Snorks was your thing.
Oh my gosh, oh my god, yeah.
Yeah.
That takes me back to Halloween for real.
Yep.
As a
100%.
kid.
Those are awesome.
With those half masks and then the
Yep.
final costumes,
Yep.
amazing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a pretty interesting one. The Wildcats cartoon needs of figures. Yes, actually, I think you hit that on the head. But I think Toy Biz did Wildcats.
Wildcats from Image Comics?
Yeah. I think,
Have they never done that?
no, I think
Been done.
I remember a Z-Lock figure. Hold on for a
That's
second.
the first thing I'm thinking of.
Grifter, they've done all
Yeah,
that.
Grifter
Yeah.
and Zealot for sure would have.
Yeah, for sure. That was Toy Biz. Yeah, Toy Biz.
Yeah.
Yeah, Toy Biz. 100%.
McFarlane did some after too.
Yeah, he must have. Yeah, right here. The Wildcats. Z-Lock. Yeah, Toy
I would
Biz.
see some Cyberforce figures if we're not talking about TV
Yeah.
shows. I love
Oh,
to see
yeah.
But that actually is becoming a thing. What's his name there? Freak, Mr. Captain America there himself. What's his name again?
Chris
Liefeld is making toys now.
Deadpool, Mr. Deadpool.
Yeah. Liefield's making I
Cyberforce.
was talking about the chest. The chest.
Yeah. I can't draw feet, but watch me draw these pecs on this Captain America. Yes.
There's
you don't
something
notice
ab-
the feet then.
There's something they can't even draw hands half the time. But there's something about Liefeld that people just like. He has huge fans. Huge fans. People love his shit. I don't know what it is. I just don't get it.
You ever see the bits where he makes fun of McFarlane and McFarlane Toys?
Yeah.
Did he? And
Hey,
now
they have a good back and forth.
Yeah, such a good impersonation of McFarlane. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Whenever there's an announcement, he'll pretend that he's McFarlane and go into the big details. It's hilarious.
Yeah, man. Yeah. He does it. I'm Quaddy Mac, and this is my I approve this message. Good old Toddy Mac. I love him. Good old Canadian boy. Canadian.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Don't forget, kids. He's Canadian. Still is Canadian. He loves Canada.
That's right. Calgary. I think both he and Byrne were out of Calgary.
Mm-hmm.
I think Byrne's actually. Yeah, I think Byrne was born in England, but I knew that he lived out west for a while.
I think he lives
SWAT cats
like that.
Yeah, SWAT cats. That was one definitely that needed one.
But Liefeld showed you the front and back of the chick at the same time.
Yeah.
Good one. Very, very good. Everybody here knows what they're talking about. It's hilarious.
And then Hal Jordan says we need raccoons figure. Classic Canadian cartoon.
Oh, very good.
Did they never made raccoons figures, right?
I don't think so.
Shit, we gotta get on that, man. That's gotta be. Did they ever do Inspector Gadget?
Yes, multiple times.
Okay.
Yeah, back in the 80s.
Raccoons, that would be awesome.
Yeah. That's taking me back, man.
Yeah, me too.
I'm down to buy the license and get these toys.
It would probably work today. Today it probably would work.
Definitely.
It's very Canadian. It's very Canadiana. 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, Bert the Raccoon's wearing a freaking hockey jersey for crying out loud.
It had to have
yeah, that's true.
U.S. syndication at some point.
I believe it did. I believe it did. It did make its rounds in the U.S. So there are people who remember it. So I think you'd get you'd have some sort of market for it. 100%.
Yeah. Wow.
I'm down for raccoons. Let's go.
Let's see who owns it now. It's probably the CBC. CBC probably still has a.
What's that T-shirt? A retro T-shirt company that does all those licensing for Canadian.
Retro Rewind, I think.
Rewind.
Here's one that's interesting. Abbott brings up Samurai Pizza Cats.
Samurai the cat.
In Japan they have a lot of Chokogen toys for that.
Okay. Yeah, great theme song too.
Yeah, but if you're talking strictly the American version, there's never been one. No.
So. Was that like a rip off of the Turtles?
It was in that era, but it was just a I think Deke literally just licensed the show, redubbed it with a completely brand new storylines. They rematched like multiple episodes into something completely different, because it's just a parody. It's just an absolute parody of robotic cats. It's not even supposed to be ninja anything really. It's just a weird weird mix, and the actual show is just bonkers. It's just this weird little TV show.
But again, that's back when you can get stuff made.
Absolutely. But you know what? Everyone was trying. Carlos is right. Everyone was trying to be the next Ninja Turtles. Everybody was trying to be Ninja Turtles around that time. Ninja Turtles the only one that survived, technically.
40 years.
Oh, and going, and going like a plague. No, I'm just kidding. Todd with his bag of Sharpie markers. Mother slug. That's funny, man.
Did they ever Star Blazer toys?
In Japan, yes.
And they did the ship.
Yeah, they did the ship
multiple times. Way too many. I do believe that just like the Robotech toys, Matchbox also did a line of
Star Blazer.
I do believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. I think they actually did a live action version of Star Blazers.
They did. It was
is it Yamamoto?
4 years ago? Yeah, it's Yamamoto. It's Yamato, right? The original space battleship Yamato.
Yeah,
it was a Japanese Netflix production.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out because I enjoyed that cartoon quite a bit.
Yeah, the storyline might not be exactly the same as you remember because they didn't
fine.
make changes. But for the most part, you know, the Gamelons are still
Mhm.
the enemy, and the Earthlings are still Earthlings. You know what I mean? But so it's a
Yeah.
lot of fun.
What's the big toy line that we're waiting for as retailers right now?
So right now there is just multiple lines which a lot of people are collecting. GI Joe is still hot as hell. I mean, like it just continues to
Really?
defy the odds. Really, yeah, it still is really really hot in terms of its overall scope. Star Wars is dead. Don't even bother.
Yeah.
Marvel is just on it's on such a decline. It is just unfortunate. You know what I mean? Like you know that for sure.
Yeah,
Carlos.
Marvel Legends dead.
I think like in terms of one that people are always looking forward to. I think that GI Joe has its diehard fans, and I think that that's actually the one which, in terms of like getting a return. Don't go crazy on the number that you pick up,
Yeah.
but try it out a couple times. See what works. They're making a lot of vehicles now, but let me think. I think that there's no one real toy line that anyone's
Yeah.
actually looking for, like really salivating over. It's just these little blips because again, it's all about nostalgia right now. Realistically, like Diamond just released a whole bunch of Lord of the Rings figures. You know what I mean? So they look awesome, but I don't know if anybody's actually buying them.
No, I got
Um,
nobody asking for that stuff.
that's the thing, right?
Last we just got hit hard with a lot of McFarlane stuff.
Oh, I
So
saw the boxes on
Yeah.
your social media. Wow.
42 cases of McFarlane toys. I'm like, why dump everything in 1 week? It's just it hurt.
But Todd's like that though. Like one thing you can always rely on Todd is a lot of volume. Like that dude.
But
I don't
all
know
in
how he
1
does it.
week, it's one release is just nuts. But yeah, DC did well. Do you like the new Marvel 1/10 scales?
Sorry.
The
What is it called?
McFarlane
Mezco, right?
covers, the figures.
Oh, those.
Yeah,
They're nice. I mean, they're bookends. You know what I mean? Like, they are nice.
yeah, they're nice.
And again, it's all of Todd's best covers, right? It's
Mm.
got his Deadpool. It's got his Spider Man. It's got
300.
yeah. It's got a real lot of for comic book collectors. That's great.
Is there a
100%.
Batman? Does he have the Batman, with the
Not
cape
yet.
that goes nuts?
Not yet. They actually
That
released.
one before.
Yeah, they released a full figure with that one. The billowing cape,
Ah,
it was gigantic. It was
wow.
I
freaking
have
crazy.
up here on my shelf the
Yeah.
blue cape one. That
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's beautiful, but it literally is pretty much a statue. It's not really much of an
Right.
action figure. It's a statue.
And then I got the statues that he did, the
Yep.
black and the blue Japanese one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have those as well. So
So here's a question, Carlos, because you've seen the 3 books come in. What do you think the toys are going to be like for the Absolute line?
I think it's still a ways off, but I can see them selling. But that's just one-off characters, one of each, right? So you
Yeah,
got
I think they're going to do Green Lantern and stuff as well too. It'll be interesting.
Absolute Flash. So I could see Batman, but I don't know if I dig the logo. It's so boxy.
Yeah. Well,
Actually, you know what,
it
Carlos?
is an axe.
I forgot to mention.
Thumbs
Ja-
up.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a
I
weapon.
forgot to mention. Jada's killing it right now. Jada as a company is literally killing it. Like, what's really hot right now for a lot of toy collectors is the General Mills cereal line. It's literally killing. Like, people are going nuts over that. Like, Frankenberry, Count Chocula, Boo Berry, all these guys for whatever reason. Like,
Tony the Tiger.
yep.
But I had those a few years ago. But where I think there's a resurgence right now is Cars,
Yeah.
Wheels, Matchbox, not Matchbox necessarily, but Johnny Lightning and the Jada toys are
Jada. Yeah.
fantastic, And I don't know if you noticed, Steve, we got a whole selection of cars now, of Hot Wheels and Jada toys. And I like the idea of here's the Wolverine car with a little mini Wolverine inside beside it. It's pretty good. That's them.
Yeah, yeah, and McFarlane's doing a whole bunch of vehicles. You know what I mean? And probably the best price point in the market right now for vehicle, 100%.
That company that's been doing licensed movie ones. They did John Wick. I believe it's called AW or something like that. They've done the cars.
Yeah.
I want to say it's AW or something like that. Yeah, they do the high end John Wick car, and
Okay.
and those are real nice, nice.
Yep. Yeah, it's a great time.
Remember Hot Wheels Elite? You remember?
Yeah.
And they went away from that, and they used to put out all those beautiful the A-Team van or Ghostbusters, the Ecto One, and you know, now they're coming back to doing those again, which is real nice.
Yeah, 100%. Mattel knows what they're doing, no matter what. It's still a great time to be a collector right now.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So, holy crap! It's nothing. It never stops, guys. It never stops. You know, great movies, great films, and of course, great toys, and great times with good friends. So, you know, man, I can't wait. A lot of things on the go right now. You know, Carlos, thank you for dropping by, man. It's been
it's awesome.
That's 3 days in a row. I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
No, thank you for coming.
Yeah,
I really love it.
I'm laying on the couch, chilling out.
How can people reach you, Carlos? And what are you up to right now?
I'm laying down on my couch, you know, chilling out. Reach us at I don't know, what is it? Gotham Central CC on IG and Facebook. GothamCentralComics.com, your one-stop shop for all your new comic books, toys. We're getting there, you know. Nobody's perfect, but we're getting there, and we're getting everything online. So, and hey, it's been a fantastic, great few months of comic book reading and collecting again, which is fantastic.
Yeah. Timescales. Carlos has the right idea. Just lay on the couch. Amen.
You got it.
You got to relax, my friend.
Doing this. Does this come? Like, I'm a newbie to this stuff. I've been on podcasts before. Does this come? Can you hear me? Do I have to buy a microphone?
No, you're good.
Do I need those professional air?
Well, these lovely things that I'm wearing. No
stuff. I don't know.
This is fine. It's
in front. I got the behind me. I got the game playing and behind the phone. So I'm always checking the score. So
multitasking, man. It's all good.
Thank you, this guys, and thanks for taking me down memory lane. Because you know, the older I get, the more you know, the memories of the past get pushed aside. Yeah. I feel like the TVA where they just have all the stuff here. So something in my head's got to go pull a memory out of it. I'm just trying to think of all the cartoons and stuff that we used to watch, the animated series when we were kids, you know. But wow, we had some good times, and thank you for bringing me back to the 80s.
No worries, always a pleasure.
We can always dive. We can dive deeper, but not. It's always a pleasure having you, Carlos. So thank you.
Anytime.
Steve, let's take it away.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks again, everyone, for coming by, and loved all the comments. They were fantastic. Carlos, once again, thanks again for spending some time with us and with the crazy toys. La D. Jay, safe travels, because I know you're going to be on your way in the next little week. We're going to take a 1-week hiatus. I have to travel, but we'll be back 2 Wednesdays from now. But everyone, stay safe and keep it indie.